Hi, I'm Bee. Welcome back to episode 14 of Wreck This Journal. If you've been following along, you know that I'm using this book for art prompts and experimentation. The first pages that I'm going to be working on today are pages 64 and 65. Compost this page, watch it deteriorate. So I decided to start this page in two parts. I wanted it to be kind of like, partially above ground, partially below ground kind of view. And in the ground, obviously I'm going to have my earthworms, which are key for composting. And then I'm going to have a bunch of compost materials like apple cores, onion peels, banana peels, orange peels, eggshells, things like that. And above ground, I'm just going to have some really simple doodles of like flowers and things like that. And I wanted to add in some roots so, you can see kind of the transition between above ground, below ground, and just have some more movement to bring you down through the whole composition. And then I just went into some meditative coloring. Like I basically just wanted to zone out and color and turn off my brain and just kind of feel it out with the vibes. And I used an earthy color scheme. I have reds, orange, yellows, this like sky blue kind of color for a balance, because there is going to be that sky blue in the sky above the flowers. So just to kind of pull it in down below. But otherwise, other than like thinking out the colors that I may have wanted, I basically just wanted to doodle and scribble out something meditative. It's really nice to be able to just kind of shut off your mind and just kind of go at it. This page was really peaceful for me. When I finished the composition, I did realize that the proportions are just so laughable because these earthworms are massive. Like they've got to be ginormous. And then these flowers are like teeny tiny. And then the apple core, like everything is just so out of proportion. It's ridiculous. I also decided that it did need some more contrast. So I did take my highlighter. I took a gray highlighter to add kind of like a drop shadow to all of the things in the dirt. And I took a blue highlighter to add a drop shadow to all of the plants above the dirt. And I think that really like brought the whole thing together. It added that little bit of contrast it was missing. And overall, this page gives me peaceful vibes, and I'm here for it. So the next pages that I'm going to be working on today are pages 66 and 67. Do a really ugly drawing. Use ugly subject matter. And it gives a bunch of things that you can do. I decided to draw vomit. Vomit is a very ugly subject. It's something that I have to deal with on the daily because of the disorder that I have. And it is really frustrating. Since I was diagnosed, or I guess I should say since I started showing symptoms, this has changed my life. Vomit has changed my life. Like this page is a very simple page, very simple sketching. Like I didn't do anything complex on this page, but it still took me 3 days to complete because I just did not want to do it. I just was balking because this page just makes me think of all of the things that I can no longer do. All of the things that I miss doing, that I long to do, that I long to be able to eat strawberries and go for a bike ride and have a conversation with a neighbor without having to like contemplate what the consequences are going to be and how much pain it's going to cause me. And if that means that I'm going to faint later or whatever, like what are those consequences going to be for every action I take every day, every moment. And it's exhausting. And I don't know. I should have just picked something different. I should have drawn an ugly duck or something, something that would have been comical or whatever. I don't know. I should have picked something different, but I didn't. I had this idea and I was like, yeah, I should do that because hopefully, 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line, 5 years, 10 years, someday I will no longer have this disorder. Like I will have overcome it or whatever. And I will be able to do these things again. And I'll look back and I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that time. That really sucked. But hey, look at me now. So I did decide that is what I would do with this. I don't know. This page is what it is. It is not the best page. It will not be the best page, but it's here. And for those of you who remember last week on page 60, I hated, and so I needed to change it, redo it. So I did spend some time. I deepened the green. I added a pink wash to the porcupine herself. I added more contrast to the quills on the external layer as well as the quills inside of the book. I added a little bit more shading and here's the before and after. And I really do think She looks a lot better now. Is she still perfect? No. Is she my favorite page? No. But I am satisfied that this is good enough. Going forward, I think next week I am a little burnt out on my Wreck This journal. So next week I'm going to do something with just music to it. It may just be me coloring on a coloring book, or I may do some simple chalk drawings or whatever. But don't worry, I will be back with Wreck This journal as soon as inspiration strikes again. I'm really proud of these pages and I want to continue that going forward. But if it takes me a week or two of just some peaceful coloring before I get there, then that's what's going to have to happen. I guess you'll find out when I do. Until then, bye.